Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin Ashrafil Mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in amma ba'd. If I do start coughing, I'll do a mute on my mic, yes, and then I'll come back inshallah. Okay. Tonight we are going to do, or today we're going to do understanding Atful Bayan. I mentioned this the last session that we had, and I felt that this is quite an interesting topic. It may be a bit advanced for some of you, but still, nevertheless, I think it's quite thought-provoking, okay? Because this is some of the things that our grammarians have been studying over the hundreds of years that they've been studying the Quran. Yes, and of course, in how do you say? In understanding the language of the Arabs. Yes, so the grammarians are not necessarily from Saudi, for example. Yeah, but they have come to learn the language because they wanted to understand the Quran. So here we're going to recap what we did last week, because we have finished all our particles, or most of the particles that matter. Not to say that particles don't matter, but there are more particles that are used more often than others. Yes, so we've covered those. And we did, before we did the particle, some phrases. Yes, some phrases. And now, before entering sentences proper, we are going to revisit some of these phrases and see how they function in sentences. Yeah. And so the first one that we saw, we revisited, was the positive, the badal. Yeah, the badal. And we saw that it is made up of two nouns, what we call in English antecedent. Yes, the mubdalun minhu, the noun being explained, and the badal itself, the noun that is used to explain. Yeah, the positive. And the badal will have the same i'rab as the mubdalun minhu. Yes, meaning if it's rafa, it's rafa. If it's nasab, it's nasab. If it's majrur, it's majrur. So the usual structure is the antecedent will come first in the sentence, okay? Then followed by the positive itself. In translation, there'll be a comma or not, yeah, depending on how close that relationship is between the mubdalun minhu and the badal. Yeah. For example, in the case of your isim isyarah and musharun ilai, yeah, some people consider the musharun ilai a badal of the isim isyarah. So in that case, that is no commas, yes, because we would say things like this man, for example, or that cat. No, it's a particular man, a particular cat. Tarkib wise, we don't use the term mubdalun minhu. Yes, we don't do that because the mubdalun would have a function in the sentence. For example, we have this. This is a jumlah fi'liyah. We have a fi'il, the fa'il, and we have the maf'ulun bihi. We know this, yes. And it's the maf'ulun bihi here, yes, the an-nabiyya. This is your mubdal minhu. That is being followed by the badal, meaning the one and same thing. Yeah, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Muhammad, as we know. Yeah, so this is the structure in the sentence, and we would translate it: Allah sent the Prophet, pause, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, then we saw there were three kinds of badal. Yeah, three main kinds of badal. We saw the one that's called badalun kullin min kullin. Yes, meaning badal kul min kul. That's what we normally say. We don't say it with all the harakas in it. Yeah, but badal kul min kul, meaning it is complete. Mutabaq means the whole thing. Yes, the badal represents the whole of the mubdal minhu. And we saw that there were two types. When it is identical in wording and meaning, yes, it comes one after another. Surat in Surah Al-Fatiha, verse 6 and 7. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. So this sirat and this sirat is identical. This is your mubdalun minhu and this is your badal. Yeah, word and meaning. Then of course we have the more common one where it's identical in meaning but not in wording. Yes, we know the Khalifah in this case is Omar and Omar is the Khalifa. So same thing, same person, sorry, but not in wording. So this is the first kind. Then we saw the second kind, sorry, I put that there. We saw the second kind, which is ba'da minkum, part of the whole, yeah, part of the whole. So in this case, usually the badal has a real or physical part, yeah. Sorry, it's a real or physical part of the mubdal minhu, yeah, and it's always less in part, yeah, because when you're part of something big, you're of course less than that big thing. So this is basically what these two sentences are saying, yeah. And usually the badal has a domain that is attached to it, yeah, because you need to know what is this part of, yeah. So like in this case, the examples we saw, I read the book halfway. So nisfahu, this hu refers to the kitab. Yeah, in this case, kitab is maf'ul bihi. And so nisfa is also mansub. You can see that. And the second sentence, alaja tabibu al-marida ra'sahu. Yeah. So here is your fa'il. And you see that the head is part of the patient, the marid, yeah, the one who is sick. And it's again maf'ul bihi in this case, and who the i'rab is identical, fatha with fatha. Then we saw the third type of badal, which is ishtimal. Now this is also part of the mubdal minhu, but in a sense that it is more how do you say, not physical, yeah, not physical, but some quality of the mubdal minhu. Yeah, so in this case, our example is, I like the student. What is it about the student that you like? His manners. Yeah, you can ask yourself that question. So again, we have this domir because we need to go back to something. We're referring this to whom or what. Yeah, so we have to have a domir. We had a fourth kind of badal, which I have not repeated here. Yeah, that badal is basically a mistake. When you make a mistake and you want to replace what you said with something totally different. Yes, so sometimes we call it the contrasting badal. Mubayyan, that's what we call it, badal mubayyan. But basically, you said something wrong. Yes, something like the Kaaba is in Medina, and then I said the wrong thing. The Kaaba is in Makkah. So Makkah there is replacing Medina. That's basically all there is to know about the fourth kind of badal. Yeah, but that's not, of course, in the Quran, as I've said before, because there are no mistakes in the Quran. Yeah. So now we're going to look at the atful bayani. What the translation is explanatory conjunction. Explanatory conjunction. Yeah. So what is this all about? Sorry. I mentioned something called at-tawabi before when we did the ataf with ma'tuf alayh, yeah, and we saw this slide, I think, inshallah, but there was one part that we did not see. We saw na'tu, you know this is mawsul sifa, na'tu and man'ut, yeah, man'ut, and then we have atfu, but I just stopped there and I didn't explain that there were two kinds. We have atfu nasaqin, yeah, and we have atfu bayanin. Yeah, this is where our friend comes in. And as you can see, it's under conjunction. It's not under badal. Okay, badal is a topic on its own. Okay, and then we have something called tawkid. This one we'll look at later. Tawkid can be two ways: what you say, you repeat, or you can actually use a word that means it is emphasized. Yeah, like kul. Kul is one of the words. Yeah, all. So here we have two types of conjunction. Yeah, and we see in this drawing, I have 1 and 2 here. Now, what does that mean? So here, these are all your particles. Yes, and the word nasaku means arrangement or order. When you join two words or two sentences, it comes in a certain order. Yeah. Here, we're looking at the noun. We're looking at particles. We're looking at the noun. And atful bayani is actually what you use to explain another noun. Why we call it conjunction is because there is a sense of connection, just like what we do when we join two words or two sentences. There is a sense of connection, right? So it's also the same here. The difference here is this is what you use to join the thing, and this is what is joined. Okay, so this is what you use to join. This is one of the things that you are joining together. Okay, so one is a particle, the other one is half. Now, particle of arrangement, just to remind you what it's all about. Yeah, so here we have things like waw, fa, summa, aw, hatta, lakin, la, bal. La can be used as a atfin. Yeah, it can be used as ataf. We saw this in one of the lessons we did before. You may want to go back to your notes to see. So here is the simple one. Bilal and Muhammad came. I bought a book, then a notebook. Yes, this is what we use fa for when we want to indicate that what follows it comes after it, immediately after, usually. And summa, it also came, no, it happened after it, or we talk about it after it, but there is a delay usually. Yeah, came a while, for example, after Zaid. This is how we would translate it. This is how we would translate fa. Then, like after that, this is what happened. This one, after some time, then this is what happened. Yeah, and this one, we do not know who came first. This is the thing about wow. Okay, we don't know who came first, but we know they came. Now, for some of the huruf, certain conditions must be met before it behaves like atifa. We know this. This can be haliyah. Yes, we know this. And then other things as well. Hatta can be half of jar. It can be ataf. It can be also what we call something that we use at the beginning of the sentence, ibtidaiyah. Yeah. And lakin is ataf only, yeah, there are conditions that you need to meet. You can use lakin when there is no wow in front of it, of course. Yeah, if there's wow in front of it, then automatically wow would be the ataf and lakin would be something else. Yes, we call it idrab. So yeah, there are certain conditions where some of these halves are only considered ataf under those conditions. Yeah. But like I said, you may wish to go back to that lesson to find out what the conditions are, inshallah. Now let's go on with your bayan. Now the thing is, atful bayan, it looks like badal. Yeah? So that's where this issue comes and why I'm covering this topic after badal, even though it is under conjunction. Now, both cases have two elements, the primary element and the secondary element. This goes with all tawabi. So all follower and what is being followed have the same concept. So for example, qabaltu Elizabeth Malikata Biritania. Yeah, so here we are saying, I met Elizabeth when she was still alive, the Queen of Britain. Yeah, the Queen of Britain. Here, Ja'a ahuka Bilalun. Yeah, here, your brother Bilal came. So I've color-coded it. So this would be your primary element. and this is your secondary element. Here's the case of atful bayani, and here's a case of badal. So why do we say this? We'll come back to it. What's the difference? Now, your atful bayani is used to clarify the word it follows. Yes, used to clarify the word. So it has the meaning of that is, just like I, just like the word I. Remember I? It would have the same status as the word it clarifies because it's a follower. Yeah, so we see this. Tabi' is a term, just a term, meaning the follower. And matbu' is the one being followed. Yeah, maf'ul, fa'il. Okay. Atfun, ma'tufun alayh in the case of here, and badal and mubdal minhu in case of badal. Yeah, so as you can see, there are two separate categories, not the same thing. So what is it? Why am I going on about this? Yeah, now any badal, kul min kul, when I mention badal from now onwards, I'm only referring to kul min kul. So I don't have to say it's ba'da min kul or ishtimal. Yeah, we're talking about badal kul min kul from this point onwards. Is always an atful bayan. Yeah, it's always an atful bayan. So if it's a badal, you can call it atful bayan if you want. Yes, but an atful bayan, not all of them can be a badal. Not all of them can be a badal. Okay, so this is not clear yet. Hopefully, inshallah, by the end of this lesson, it becomes clear. Yeah, so any badal is an atful bayan. But an atful bayan is not always a badal. Okay, so if you see the term badal in your i'rab, it covers atful bayan automatically. But if you see the term atful bayan, it may not necessarily be a badal. Okay, so that's basically what we are saying. Now there are 2 points in which the atful bayan and is different from the badal. This one, remember the first and second element? The second element is better known than the first element. Yeah, for the badal, it can be all three: better known, equally known, less known. That's why a badal is always ataf, because if it's better known, then of course it's atful bayan. Yeah, but its first element is the point of focus. First element, the antecedent, the one that comes before. Yeah, before your atful bayan. Why? A very simple reason, because that's what needs clarification. That's our point of focus. This is why we're using the atful bayan, because you want to make it clearer. Yeah. So for example, aqsama, this is fi'il madin, billahi Abu Hafs. Abu Hafs Umar. Yeah, Abu is your fa'il. This is muta'ali to your oath. Yeah, so who is Abu Hafs? Not many people know this, but it is a kunya for Umar al-Khattab, yeah, our Khalifa. So he, Abu Hafs, is making the oath. And in order to know what's going on, we see, oh, it's Omar. So Omar is actually making the oath. But the point of focus is still Abu Hafs. But Omar is better known. Yeah, so that's why we're using it to clarify. So here it is. In short, yeah, this would be your i'rab. Fa'il, Abu, Dhamma. This is just mudaf ilayh and idafa. Yeah. Umar is your atful bayan, and that's why this would also be Dhamma, yeah, at the end. And here I stressed again, with badal, we are concerned with the second element, the badal itself, not the mubdal minhu. It's the badal itself that is important. So if you look at the previous example here, yeah, so the badal, Bilal, is our point of focus. Yeah, badal, Bilal is the point of focus for badal. In this case, the point of focus is Elizabeth, and we're explaining who she is. Okay. Any questions so far? All clear?
No.
Sean?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so when then is it not a badal? Yeah, when is our atful bayan not a badal? Now, when one of the two elements is omitted, the primary or the secondary, yes, the meaning is not disturbed. This is the most critical part, I think. The meaning is not disturbed. There is no impropriety in the grammar. This is debatable. Sometimes we say, the grammar is no longer intact, but some people can go around it and say, no, it's still intact. Yeah. So the most important thing to me is the meaning. So here we have a lot of people who thinks many things. So sometimes, yes, they can find a reason why this is justifiably the same. Yeah. But anyway, it's still included there because sometimes it's really obvious that the grammar has gone wrong. Yeah, sometimes it's really obvious. But most of the time, it's the meaning. Now, then it is considered badal. Otherwise, it's adfu bayan. So if if you remove any one of them, things haven't changed. Then it's then things are badal. Sorry. Yeah, excuse me. Now let's look at the two sentences. So hopefully this is clearer. We have Zainab and Bilal, her brother, came to me. Oh, okay. This is not a straightforward jumlah fi'liyah. It's not actually. It's actually jumlah ismiyah. Yeah. So Zainab, her brother Bilal came to me. Now, obviously, we need the explanation. No, not actually. Maybe this is not so much explanatory, but we want to highlight the fact that Bilal, the person who came to me, is her brother. Do you see the element of jumlah ismiyah there? Yeah. Bilal, the one who came to me, is her brother, Zainab's brother. Yeah. So this is what we wanted to do. Now, when we drop Bilal, it invalidates the sentence. Why do I say that? Zainab, mubtada now. Jumlah.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Sister Nada.
Yes. Isn't it? Yes, it is. مبتدأ. جملة الاسمية.
Yes, that's right. It is mubtada. Alhamdulillah. And here's the jumlah fi'il, is actually your khabar. Yeah, it's actually khabar. Just explaining the jumlah fi'il part. And then we have Bilal, which is the fa'il of your jumlah fi'il. And ahu is your atfu bayan. And we say it is up to bayan here, clear case, because if I drop Bilal, I lose my fa'il. Yeah? So there's disturbance in the jumlah fi'iliyah. There's no disturbance in the jumlah ismiyah, but there is disturbance in the jumlah fi'iliyah. Yeah? It loses its ataf, it loses its fa'il. Yeah? We can't have a fi'il without a fa'il. So in this case, it has to be ataf bayan. Ahu has to be ataf bayan. Now, in this case, however, Aina ahuka Bilalun, yeah, this is also jumlah ismiyah. There's only jumlah ismiyah, yeah. Where is your brother Bilal? Yeah, where is your brother Bilal? Now, if I drop Bilal, where is your brother? It's still intact. My jumlah ismiyah is still intact. And if I drop your brother, where is Bilal? The jumlah ismiyah is still intact. No change. Of course, the meaning is less now because we don't explain Bilal or your brother, right? because you've taken out some information there. But as far as the grammar is concerned, it's intact. Yeah. I mean, this is why we have atfu bayan and badal in the first place. Yeah, to make things clearer. So here aina is haba muqaddam. We know this. We learned the question words, and we know that in this case, your aina is haba muqaddam, and ahu is your brother, and this is of course mutawali. Yeah, your brother, and badal. And bilal is badal. Yeah. So if we drop bilal, fine. We still have a mubtada haba intact, and we drop ahu badal. Bilal steps in and he can become the haba, yeah, because he's also dhamma here. So there's no disturbance in your jumlah ismiyah. In this case, there was a disturbance in the jumlah fi'liyah because you lose the fa'il. Yeah. So there are other examples, but I think this is quite enough because we need to digest things like this. Yeah, not too many.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, Sister Nada. Alhamdulillah. So now, but having said that, yeah, there's something here that's strange. Okay, so sometimes, how do you decide whether the second element is better known or not? Okay, how do you decide whether the second element is better or known or not, right? Um, I mean, maybe everybody else know him as her brother, but doesn't know his name, Bilal, yeah? But maybe some people know, they know Bilal better, but they didn't know it's her brother, yeah? So these things depend on the situation. So this is where sometimes, yeah, like I said, it's interchangeable in that sense. Yeah, it's interchangeable in that sense. Sometimes you cannot say it is atfu bayan, and it's not badal, or it is badal, it's not atfu bayan, things like that, because it depends on the situation. Yeah, you find this in the textbook if you read through. I don't know whether you did the access one, but they did explain something like that for this case. But some cases, like you saw just now, it's clear that it has to be. Yeah, in this case, there's some argument. Okay, there's some argument. So here, I learned two new words when I did this, which was mutanakkalun. Are you familiar with this, and all these words? And jawalun. Jawalun. So these are the words we use to say cell phone or mobile. Okay, cell phone or mobile. So the word jawalun, I'm told that it's used in Saudi Arabia. This is what they use. This is the term jawalun. Yeah, means a mobile phone. So in that case, this is the better known. Yeah, this is the better known. So this would be your bayan, and you would use it in this way. Yeah, because you're trying to explain mutanakkalun. Maybe you are a foreigner, you come there, but you know that this is the word that they use in Saudi. But if let's say you from outside Saudi, apparently the more popular word is mutanakkalun. So then maybe you're asking this question to someone who is from Saudi, and you say, do you have, the person is from Saudi, and you say like this instead, because this is what, this is what they know. Sorry, now is this right? Am I saying here? The better known here. No, you're not asking someone who is Saudi, but you're asking someone who's outside Saudi. Yeah, sorry, because mutanaqalun is the better known one. Yeah, and do you have a mobile or cell phone? Yeah, so in this case, the better known is this one, and this would be your atbu bayan. So this is what I mean by sometimes the circumstances dictate, whether you're going to use this one or whether you're going to use this one for your atbu bayan. Yeah, it depends on which one is better known. Because remember, this is to clarify. So of course, you use what is more clear, more well known to explain the one before that. Yeah. Here we have I. I actually is used instead of dropped. Yeah. All right. Alhamdulillah. Now, here is going into really fine detail. Yeah. What we have seen so far, if you see, if you see the examples here, you see that our atful bayan is nakira, jawalun, mutanaqqalun, yeah, nakira. And then you see here what we saw earlier, for example, here, Bilal, this is ma'rifah, yeah, your atful bayan is ma'rifah, which basically means badal is also ma'rifah, yeah, because remember, all atful bayans are badal, it's only that's not all badals are atful bayan. Okay, so the norm, some of the grammarians say, is for it to be ma'rifah, something that you know, yes, because after all, it's going to explain things. But some say no, because like you saw in the case of the phone, it depends on where you are, yeah, on where you are. So there is one grammarian, I think you've heard of him, Imam Malik. Yeah, Imam Malik. Now he wrote a book called Alfiyah ibn Malik, yes, and it's about Arabic grammar. And in that book, he says, فَقَدْ يَكُونَانِ مُنَكَّرَيْنِ كَمَا يَكُونَانِ مُؤَرَّفَيْنِ. Yeah, so he says it's fine, both can happen. Yeah, both can happen. Because remember, it's always the case whenever there is a dispute, our scholars try to reconcile. So he says it's fine, both can be used. Yeah, we can find examples of both. So this is the name of the book, and the two lines refers to atful bayan, the first element, or the matbu'ah, the one being followed. Yeah, the one being followed. Okay. Now, possible cases of nakira, yeah, matbu'ah from the Quran. When I say possible cases, it means that there is an alternative i'rab to the atfu bayan. Yeah, there's an alternative i'rab to that when it is nakira. So let's take the first example. Here, أو كفارة طعام مساكن. Yeah, أو كفارة طعام مساكن. So the expiation is with the feeding of the poor. Yes, someone has done something that they need to expiate themselves, and in this case, it's to feed the poor. So ta'amu, so is being explained. It's sorry. Ta'amu is explaining kafaratun. Yeah, always look at the status. Then you know which one is which one is the mubdamihu and which one is badal. But in this case, more like ma'tuf alayh and ma'tuf. Yeah, kafaratun ta'amu. Yes, so this ta'amu is explaining kafarah. And of course, because it's atfu bayan here, the logical alternative would be, you can also call it badal. Yeah, we can also call it badal. This is very straightforward. We can have a look at this in the Iraq book later, if you would like. If we have time, we'll have a look at this and see what they put there. Yeah. So in this case now, which one? See, there's kasra here, kasra here, kasra here. So here I've highlighted again. So this would be your atfu bayan. Yeah. So you're saying that it is from the olive tree. Yeah, you're clarifying what blessed tree are we looking at? We're looking at the olive tree. Yes. The translation is blessed olive tree. Here would be tree, blessed, and then zaitunatin, This is the one that explains what type of tree. Yeah. Here again, the alternative is badal. Now, this is a difficult one to explain. Yeah, Jabbarin anidin. First, we have to be familiar with the different type of words. Different type of words. If we look at this, Jabbarin, yeah, this is, how do you say? The verb is Jabbara. The word is Jabbara, yeah. And this is what we call the sirah mubalaghah of that particular verb. Okay, usually to show something like this, more like an isim fa'il in a way, yeah, because it is someone's part of someone. It has become part of someone. Yeah, it's a sifa and it's mubalaghah. You can sirah mubalaghah in the sense that they do this so often. Yeah, sirah mubalaghah means they do it so often. Jabbarun. Now, in this case, Jabbarin is what we call an arrogant dictator. It's bad enough he's a dictator, okay, but he's arrogant. And anidin means obstinate, stubborn. Anid is to be stubborn. Now, this is the sifah mushabbaha. Okay, this is sifah mushabbaha. This is sirah mubalagha. Yeah, more of someone, a character that they keep on, they exhibit it again and again. And this is more like an ingrained, well, more or less the same thing in a way, yeah. But here we're looking at more of a person, and this is more of a, more like a sifa. How do I say it? Yeah, something like that. Can you help me out here? I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so this is more like a character, but this is more like a person who has a certain um, character as well. Yeah, but this is more like a sifa, and this is more like that person with that character. Okay, something like that. So there's a debate here. There is a debate here because they say that this is what we call a dictator. Okay, and we have to explain why. What do we mean by this arrogant dictator? And then they say, oh well, it's a person who's not only is he a dictator, but he's obstinate and he doesn't budge. Okay, when he decides to do something. So the alternative, of course, is simple. It's a sifa. Yeah, it's just a sifa. Because for some, this is enough already. When you say that he's an arrogant dictator, means that we understand it to be what sort of person he is. Yeah, but here we want to add on some more. Yeah, we want to add on some more. So there is two school of thoughts. Meaning, it's Atfu Bayan in the sense that what sort of dictator, what sort of arrogant dictator we're talking about? We're talking about an obstinate, arrogant dictator. Yeah, it's like an explanation of Jabbarin. On the other hand, we can just look at it as a sifa. Yeah. So I have not found, because this particular explanation was taught to us by the late Dr. V. Rahim, yeah, the one who wrote the Madinah books. Yes. So and I'm sure he has basis for this, but I couldn't find it in the books that I had, and I don't have many books. Okay, so probably it's somewhere out there, but this is how I would understand it. Yeah, this is how I would understand it. So this is why it's interchangeable between sifa and atfu bayan, whether it's clarifying what sort of dictator or whether it's just a sifa of that dictator. Yeah, so that's how I see it. Then we have this one. Yeah, this one. The yusqa. Yusqa is actually an action involving, the liquid pus. You know this, right? Min ma'in sadid. Yeah, min ma'in sadid. Sadid is an explanation of what it is. Yeah. Oops, sorry. Of what ma'in is. What sort of drink it is. but this already implies that it is something unpleasant. Yeah, it's something unpleasant. This is, I think, one of those examples where we do not know whether the verb comes from a masdar or whether the masdar came from the verb. Yeah, which one came first? As I explained before, like the word in English, the word email was a noun, yeah, but now email has become a verb as well. Yeah, so similar case and some words in Arabic that we see. Yeah, in some case. Okay, alhamdulillah. Now, what other opinions do we have on atfu bayan? Can it be a sentence? If a sifah can be a sentence, and we know that sifah explain things, so surely atfu bayan can be too. Yeah, so this is some of the arguments that was made over the years. So is it possible for both the first and second element to be sentences? Most grammarians say no, but there are grammarians who say it is possible. Yeah, so one of them is a gentleman called Mustafa al-Ghalayani. Yeah, and he wrote a book. Did I pronounce his name correctly? Al-Ghalayini. Yeah, al-Ghalayini. Yeah. He wrote a book called Jami'ud Durus al-Arabiya, and he gave an example from the Quran. He said, this is possible, and he gave this example. We'll have a look at this in our Arab text. Yes, so this is Surah Taha. Just note down this. Yeah. So we have here a sentence, an ayah from the Quran, where the first element is a sentence, yeah? فَوَسْوَسَ إِلَيْهِ الشَّيْطَانِ فَوَسْوَسَ إِلَيْهِ الشَّيْطَانِ. So shaitan whispered to him, yeah? Shaitan whispered to him. And what did shaitan whisper? Yeah, so they are saying that this is your atfu bayan. This is your atfu bayan. So here we go. He said, yeah, Ya Adam, hal adulluka ala sajaratil khuldi wa mulkin la yabla. Yes, Adam, shall I show you to the tree of immortality, no? Al-Huld, and a kingdom, mulk, that will not waste away, yeah, la yabla, that will last. So there are two schools of thoughts, of course. We can say it this way, yeah. And what you see in Iraq books, more often than not, instead of saying atfu bayan, they say badal, yeah. Or this could be an istiqnaf, meaning a new sentence that explains bayani, yeah, that explains. Then the second example here, this is a case of calling. So what did they call out? Yeah, and it was announced to them. What was announced to them? So the whole sentence, of course. Yeah, what was announced to them. Tilkumu is an interesting word, but that's another day. Okay, this is paradise, which you have been made. Remember, whenever we use a pointer word, if this kum and all this depends on who you are addressing. So this is obviously a group of people. Yeah, so that's why we use tilkum. There are other rules to this, inshallah. So here, alternatively, we can say it's tafsiriyah. Yeah, tafsiriyah. It explains. We saw this word before. Maybe not in our UCAS classes, but maybe in the Friday class, not in the Wednesday class, but tafsiriyah. This is what was explained there as well. Yeah. Okay. So now, alhamdulillah. That's all I'm going to say about Atfu Bayan. I think that is more than enough, inshallah, to satisfy any curiosity about Atfu Bayan. But like I said, it's perfectly valid to say that an Atfu Bayan is badal, yeah, but not necessarily the other way around. Did I say that correctly? lady and
Yes,
gentleman.
yes.
So I may have said it backwards, but
Better, we better didn't know this. So we're okay. Bedel, Sifa, yes, it's done. But now we have to open our eyes wide open.
yes, yeah. We sometimes take things for granted, right? We take things for granted. So let me show you here one of the books that I was referring to, and this is Surah Taha, is it? Yeah, Taha with 120, the one that I said to note down. Yeah, here we are. We saw this. So this was one of the books where I did see them saying that there are two alternatives, yeah, for this jumlah. Qala ya Adamu. There are two wajahan, two um, image, yeah, something like that. One is bada and the other one is istiqnafiyah, yeah, normal istiqnafiyah. So badalun min jumlah waswasa. So this one, yes, I could find. But for the sifah one, remember the one with the jabbarun? I could not find that, the jabbarun one. Let me see. Let's see whether we can, what's the ayah? I'm not looking at the right one. Nope. This is for sentences. Yeah. So here, this one, 1415. I couldn't find anything about that, but I was like searching for it last minute. So maybe 1415, right? It was Ibrahim 15. So this is a very good apps. It's called Tafsir apps. Yeah, quite simple. Just put tafsir.app and then it'll come out, and it has so much in it. It is really have so much in it. All the books you must admire, and I hope Allah will reward them abundantly for what they have done here. They've compiled everything. You've even got things for riot words in the Quran, which is a study in itself. Yeah, it's really interesting, this. So like, okay, so if I looked at my seer, it doesn't say anything about it apart from the fact that this is the sifah of Jibar. Yeah, we said Anit was a badal at least, if not ataf bayan. But here it just says sifah. And if I look at the other one, the Arab al-Quran, oh, where are we? Here we are, we're the last one here. It also says sifa. Yeah, it doesn't say anything but sifa. So this is why I'm not sure where the source was, but I'm sure there is. If not, he would not have said it. Yeah, 15. 15. Here, sometimes they have it under saf. This one, they have saf. We can actually look at the words. Yeah, for Sadid, nope. Is this wrongly spelled? Oh, no, it's not wrongly spelled. And this one later on. This one will go through once we start the Balaghah class. Yeah, inshallah. Yeah, so I can't find that, sadly enough. But I can only think of that rationale, yeah, because this is Sigha Mubalaghah, and usually it is in the form of something that you keep on doing. And Anidin is your Sifa Mushabaha. Yeah, so that is something like part and parcel of the person. So it's like explaining a person. So rather than a normal sifa. Yeah. Okay. All right then. We'll have a short class tonight. Alhamdulillah. And I hope it was beneficial to both of you, inshallah. Okay. Okay then.
Yes, Jazakallah.
Amin wa iyyakum. Yeah. Subhanallah wa bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام. جزاك الله خير.
Amin wa iyyakum.